This is the story of a hidden truth, a truth NASA never shared with the world. Adam Carter, a small reporter, opens a simple email. But that email leads him to secrets that could change history. The email gives him coordinates, a password, and a path to a secret bunker, where old NASA files are kept. Every file, every photo, every drive shows something strange, things seen in the sky but never explained. But when Adam gets close to the truth, his life becomes dangerous. There are people who want to keep these secrets hidden forever. This is the story of chasing the truth and running from those who want to stop it. It all started on a quiet morning in May, when the sun was just rising over the small town of Ridge Valley. The sky was soft and golden, and the air felt fresh and calm. Most people were getting ready for work or school, but one man was already awake, sitting at his old wooden desk with a cup of cold coffee. His name was Adam Carter, a young science reporter who loved to search for hidden stories. Adam was not famous, and his job did not pay very much, but he had something many reporters did not have, a strong curiosity that kept him awake at night. That morning, Adam opened his email, expecting to find the usual messages, press invitations, research updates, and maybe a few from his editor asking why his articles were late again. But this time, something different caught his eye. The subject line read, "NASA files they never released, urgent." There was no sender name, only a strange code of numbers. Adam raised an eyebrow. He knew that many people sent fake messages, trying to get attention, but something about this one made his heart beat faster. He clicked the email. Inside was only one sentence. If you want the truth, follow the coordinates. Below the sentence were a set of numbers, latitude and longitude, and a password. There was also a link to a private server. Adam stared at it for a long moment, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. Was it real? Was it a joke? Or worse, was it dangerous? He checked the coordinates. They pointed to a location deep in the Nevada desert, not far from an area known for military testing. Adam leaned back in his chair. Why would someone send this to him? He was not an expert in space technology. He only wrote small articles about science news. But maybe that was the reason. Maybe they were looking for someone who would listen without asking too many questions. For the rest of the morning, Adam tried to focus on his regular work, but the email kept pulling his mind back. Every time he tried to write, the words blurred, and the coordinates flashed in his memory. Finally, he closed his laptop and stood up. He made a decision that would change his life. He would go to the coordinates. After packing a camera, a recorder, notebooks, and some snacks, he drove out of town. The road was long and empty, stretching across dry land and endless sky. The farther he went, the quieter everything became. No cars, no houses, only his old truck in the desert wind. Hours passed, and the sun grew hotter, hitting the windshield like fire. When he finally reached the location, he saw nothing but sand, rocks, and a few dry bushes. No buildings, no signs. The area looked completely abandoned. Adam checked the map again. It said he was exactly at the right place. He stepped out of the truck and walked slowly, his shoes crunching on the dry ground. For a moment, he felt foolish. Maybe it really was a joke. Then he noticed something, a small metal hatch, half covered by sand. It was round, rusted, and about 1 meter wide. It looked like it had been there for many years. Adam brushed away the sand. On the metal surface, almost invisible, was the NASA logo, faded from time and dust. His breath caught. Why would a NASA hatch be here, in the middle of nowhere? There was a keypad beside it, old but still intact. Adam remembered the password from the email. His hands shook as he typed it. For a second, nothing happened. Then, with a loud click, the hatch opened, releasing a burst of cold air from below. A ladder led down into darkness. Adam hesitated. This was no longer just a strange story. This was real, and it was dangerous. But his curiosity was stronger than his fear. He grabbed his flashlight, took a deep breath, and climbed down. The inside chamber was small and metallic, like a hidden bunker. Dust covered the floor, and old wires hung from the ceiling. At the center of the room stood a large metal cabinet with a lock. On the front of the cabinet was a label, Project Silent Echo Classified. Adam swallowed hard. He had heard rumors of secret NASA projects, but nothing with that name. He tried the lock. It opened easily, as if someone had recently unlocked it. Inside were several old files, photos, and small data drives, all marked classified. Adam opened the first file. His hands trembled as he saw strange photographs, dark shapes in the sky, glowing lights, and objects that did not look like planes, balloons, or anything he had seen before. Some images were blurry, but others were sharp and detailed. They looked like spacecraft, but not human-made. Next to the photos were documents. He read the first page. It described an unidentified object NASA had tracked in 1987. The object had moved in ways no aircraft could. It had disappeared without a trace. The report stated that the information was too unstable for the public, so it was hidden under Project Silent Echo. Adam kept reading. Each file was more shocking than the last. One spoke of signals detected from deep space signals that did not match any known source. Another included images of strange materials found in a crashed object in 1992. The materials were unlike anything on Earth. In this forgotten bunker, lay decades of secrets, proof that NASA had recorded things they could not explain, proof they never released. Suddenly, Adam heard a noise above him, a metallic thud, then footsteps. His heart pounded. Someone else was here, someone who knew about this place. He grabbed a handful of files and quickly stuffed them into his backpack. The footsteps grew louder, a shadow passed across the opening above, then a voice echoed down the ladder. "Step away from the cabinet. You shouldn't be here." Adam froze. The story was no longer just about secrets. Now it was about survival. Adam stood completely still, his breath tight in his chest. The voice from above was deep, steady, and cold. It didn't sound confused or surprised. It sounded like someone who already knew exactly who he was and why he had come. Whoever was up there had been waiting. The light from Adam's flashlight flickered as he turned slowly to look at the ladder. A pair of boots appeared first, then legs, then a tall man wearing a dark uniform with no visible badge or name. His face was calm but serious, his eyes sharp like a predator watching its prey. Adam stepped back, his heart pounding so loudly he could hear it in his ears. "Who are you?" Adam asked, trying to keep his voice steady. "That doesn't matter," the man replied. "What matters is that you opened something you shouldn't have." He looked at the open cabinet, then at the files sticking out of Adam's half-closed backpack. "Put the documents back." Adam knew he should obey, but something inside him refused. He had seen too much. He couldn't stop now. The truth was right in front of him, and he could not walk away. Slowly, he shook his head. The man sighed and stepped fully into the bunker. "You don't understand what you're dealing with. Those files were sealed for a reason." Adam's voice cracked as he spoke. "People deserve to know." The man's expression hardened. "People deserve safety, and some truths don't keep them safe." Adam didn't know what that meant, but he could tell the man believed every word he said. That made the situation worse, not better. Adam glanced around the bunker. There was no second exit. Only the ladder, and the man stood right in front of it, thinking fast. Adam grabbed the nearest object he could reach, an old, dusty metal tool lying on a shelf. He didn't want to hurt the man, only distract him. With a burst of adrenaline, he tossed the tool toward the far corner of the room. It clanged loudly against the wall, and the man instinctively turned his head. That was all Adam needed. He sprinted toward the ladder and grabbed the bottom rung. The man shouted, "Stop," and lunged forward. Adam climbed as fast as he could, his hands shaking so badly he nearly slipped twice. The man grabbed his ankle, gripping hard, but Adam kicked as hard as he could. The man let go for just a second, enough time for Adam to pull himself up and out of the hatch. As soon as he reached the surface, Adam slammed the hatch shut. He heard the man's fists pounding from below. Adam didn't wait. He ran through the sand toward his truck, his legs burning, his lungs tight. Behind him, the hatch burst open again, and the man climbed out. Adam started the engine just as the man began running toward him. Gravel flew under the tires as Adam hit the gas. The truck lurched forward, bouncing over the uneven ground. In the rearview mirror, Adam saw the man standing still now, watching him drive away. He wasn't chasing anymore. That scared Adam even more. It meant the man didn't need to chase him because he knew how to find him later. The road back to town was long and empty. Adam drove for almost an hour before he felt safe enough to breathe normally. His shirt was soaked with sweat, and his hands wouldn't stop shaking. But the file bag beside him reminded him why he couldn't stop now. He needed to look at the documents. He needed to understand what he had just risked his life for. When he finally reached his small apartment, he locked the door and pulled all the curtains closed. He checked every window twice. Then he sat at his desk, opened his backpack, and pulled out the stolen files. There were 5 folders and 2 small data drives. Each folder had a different date and title. He opened the first one. Inside were pictures of an object floating above the Atlantic Ocean in 1994. It had a sharp triangular shape and glowed with a faint blue light. The notes said the object hovered without sound for several minutes, then shot straight up at unbelievable speed. Radar lost it instantly. Adam read the next folder. This one described a strange metallic fragment, discovered in the mountains of Canada in 1982. Scientists tested the material and found its atomic structure did not match any known alloy. The report ended with a line Adam didn't understand. Recommend containment. Unknown risk. The third folder was worse. It told the story of a team of astronauts who had seen something during a mission on the edge of Earth's orbital, long, thin object that moved like a living creature. The astronauts were ordered never to speak of it again. All radio recordings from the mission were edited before being released to the public. Each file was darker than the last. By the time Adam reached the last folder, he felt sick. This one was labeled Deep Signal, 2003. It described a repeating pattern of sound coming from space, far beyond any star NASA had mapped. The signal did not match black holes, pulsars, or any known cosmic event. The pattern repeated every 11 hours. The final note said, "Pattern resembles language. Contain until analysis complete." But there was no later analysis included, only a blank space. Someone had removed the rest. Adam leaned back in his chair. His mind was spinning. All these years NASA had been collecting evidence-like patterns. Strange objects, unknown materials, possible signals, and hiding them under a project name almost no one knew. Project Silent Echo. The world had no idea how much they had seen. He was about to open the second data drive when he heard something. Outside, a soft engine, a car slowing down, then stopping directly in front of his building. Adam froze. Slowly, he stood up and peeked through the closed curtains. A black SUV, with no license plate, was parked outside. Two men stepped out. They wore the same dark uniform as the man in the bunker. Adam's heart dropped. They had found him. He grabbed the files and stuffed them back into the backpack. There was no time to think, no time to plan. He needed to leave immediately, before he could even unlock the back door. Someone knocked loudly on the front. Adam Carter, a voice said calmly, "We need to talk." Adam didn't answer. Instead, he climbed out the kitchen window, dropped quietly into the alley behind the building, and ran. He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know who to trust. All he knew was that the truth was bigger than he ever imagined, and now he was being hunted because of it. The chase had begun. Adam ran until his legs felt weak and numb. The cold night air stung his face, and each breath came out sharp and painful. He didn't dare look back. He already knew the black uniform men were not far behind. They were trained, organized, and dangerous. He was just a reporter who had stumbled into something far bigger than himself. The alley behind his apartment led into a small park. Adam moved quickly through the trees, staying in the shadows. The moonlight was bright, and he tried to keep his footsteps quiet. Somewhere in the distance, he heard car doors closing and voices calling his name. They were spreading out. They were searching. After several minutes of running, Adam reached a quiet neighborhood on the edge of town. He stopped behind a row of bushes and leaned forward, trying to control his breathing. His hands shook as he held his backpack tightly against his chest. Inside were the files that were now worth more than his own safety. He needed a place to hide. But where? Then he remembered someone, the only person he trusted more than anyone. Mia Thompson, his best friend since college. Mia was a computer expert with a sharp mind and a kind heart. She worked from home, rarely left her apartment, and had always helped Adam with research and technical problems. If anyone could look into the data drives or help him understand the project, it was her. Adam pulled out his phone but quickly realized calling Mia would be too risky. The men might have tapped his phone. He needed to go to her directly, and fast. Keeping close to the darkest areas of the sidewalk, Adam walked quickly across town. It took almost 30 minutes to reach Mia's building. The streets were empty, which made him even more nervous. Every streetlight looked like a spotlight. Every passing car made him flinch. Finally, he climbed the narrow staircase to her second-floor apartment and knocked softly. "Mia, it's me. Open up, please," he whispered. There was a quiet moment, then the door opened a crack. Mia's eyes widened when she saw him. "Adam, what happened to you? You look like you just escaped from a war." "Not a war," Adam said breathlessly, "but something close." Mia quickly pulled him inside and locked the door. Her apartment smelled like coffee and old books. Computer screens glowed softly on her desk, filled with lines of code. "Okay," she said, crossing her arms. "Start talking." Adam told her everything. The email, the coordinates, the bunker, the files, the man in the uniform, and the black SUV outside his apartment. Mia listened with wide eyes, pacing the room slowly, shaking her head. "Adam, this is insane," she finally said, "and dangerous. You were followed. They're probably already searching for you." "I know," Adam said, "but I need help. I don't understand half of what's in these files, and I need to know who's behind Project Silent Echo." Mia looked at the backpack like it was a bag of explosives. "Show me." Adam opened the bag and placed the folders and data drives on her desk. Mia put on a pair of gloves. She always wore them when handling unknown tech, and examined the drives. "These are old," she said. "Very old. This one looks like a late 1990s prototype. And this one, something government-level encryption. Can you unlock them?" Mia grinned, a spark of excitement in her eyes. "You know I can." She turned to her computer and began typing quickly. Windows opened across the screen, code scrolled fast, and colorful graphs appeared as she tested the data drive's protection. After a few minutes, she frowned. "This encryption is strange. It's strong, extremely strong, but the pattern is unusual. Not any standard government system." "What does that mean?" "It means someone didn't want this to be accessible, not even to other agencies." Adam felt a cold chill. "Try the other drive," he said. Mia plugged it in. The screen went dark for a moment, then flashed white. A new window appeared. In the middle was a single file labeled Origin. Mia clicked it. At first it looked like static. Then the static shifted into a sound wave pattern. "What is that?" Adam asked. "It's audio," Mia said. "Or a signal." She turned up the volume. A deep, rhythmic pulse filled the room. It sounded like a heartbeat mixed with mechanical noise. Then, slowly, the pattern changed. It almost sounded like a voice, but no language Adam had ever heard. "It repeats," Mia whispered, "every 11 hours, just like your folder said." "Can you analyze it?" Adam asked. "I can try." She began running it through several programs. Each one tried to identify whether the signal matched any known origin stars, planets, cosmic events, radio chatter, military frequencies. One by one, the programs returned the same result. Unknown source, unknown language, unknown pattern. Mia leaned back, stunned. Adam, this is not natural, and it's not human. Before Adam could answer, Mia's second monitor flashed red. What's happening? Adam asked. Mia's voice dropped to a whisper. Someone is trying to access my system remotely. Adam froze. Is it them? It has to be. The connection came from a restricted government node. She began typing frantically. They're trying to trace your location through the drive you plugged in. They set a tracking system inside it. Mia, shut it down. I'm trying. Alarms on her screen blinked faster. Her firewalls were falling one by one. Then, suddenly, the apartment lights flickered. Adam stepped toward the window. A black SUV turned the corner onto the street below. They found us, he whispered. Mia unplugged both data drives, grabbed the folders, and shoved everything back into the backpack. She handed it to Adam. Go out the back door. What about you? Adam asked. I'll stall the trace. I'll wipe the system. They won't get anything from me. Mia, Adam, go. If they get those files, everything you risked will be for nothing. Adam knew she was right. He squeezed her shoulder, then ran to the back door. As he stepped outside, he saw shadows moving near the front of the building. Voices, radio, chatter, footsteps. Adam slipped into the alley and ran again, disappearing into the darkness. But as he ran, he realized something terrible. Project Silent Echo was not just about hidden files, not just about secret sightings, not just about strange materials or unexplained signals. There was something deeper, something at the origin of it all, and whatever it was, the people hunting him were willing to do anything to keep it buried. Adam kept running, even though his lungs burned and his legs felt like they might collapse. The night was cold, the sky dark, and every sound behind him made him imagine the black uniformed men turning around the corner. He didn't know where to go now. Mia's apartment was no longer safe. His home was compromised. The whole town felt like a trap closing in on him. He stopped behind an old abandoned factory on the edge of the city. The building was quiet, half broken, with windows cracked like Adam crawled through a gap in the fence and hid inside, pressing himself between two rusty machines. He listened carefully. For a few minutes there was only silence. No engines, no footsteps. He took a deep breath, then pulled out the backpack. The files rustled softly. The weight of them reminded him that he was holding something powerful, something worth hiding, protecting, and maybe even dying for. He checked the time. It had been almost 11 hours since Mia played this strange signal. That meant the next repetition was coming soon. Adam felt a strange pull inside him, like the truth was calling him closer. He needed answers. Real answers. He took out the last folder he hadn't opened yet. The one with the title nearly faded away. The label said, Silent Echo, Phase 0. Adam opened it carefully. Inside was a single sheet of paper, only one. On the top, in bold letters, it read, The First Contact, 1961 Unconfirmed Report. Adam felt his heartbeat quicken. He read the text slowly. According to the document, a strange signal was detected by an early NASA listening station decades ago. It matched no known star or radio source. The scientists thought it might be interference, but one group believed it was intentional. A call, a message, something or someone trying to communicate. The document said NASA tried to respond once, only once. They sent a weak signal back, matching the same rhythm, hoping to learn more, but the return message they received was too complex and too strange to decode. After that, everything about the event was locked away, hidden, classified. The last line of the page chilled Adam to the bone. Phase 0 ended when the object arrived. Object? What object? Adam searched the folder for more pages, but there were none. Someone had removed the rest long ago. He sat back, confused and worried. Whatever the object was, it scared NASA enough to bury an entire era of research. Enough to start Project Silent Echo. Enough to send men in black uniforms chasing a local reporter. As Adam tried to understand it all, he heard a distant sound. A soft hum, low, steady, mechanical. He looked out a cracked window. Far in the distance, across the empty fields, was a black SUV. Its headlights were off, but Adam could see movement, shadows stepping out, spreading in different directions. They were searching again. Adam swallowed hard. He grabbed the files and prepared to run. But before he could move, the hum in the air grew louder and changed. It no longer sounded like a car engine, that it sounded like electricity in the sky. Adam stepped out of the factory and looked up. Clouds shifted above him. For a moment, he thought it was just the wind. But then he saw its small flashes of white light blinking in a pattern he recognized. The same pattern as the signal. Is that? Adam whispered to himself. The blinking lights grew brighter, closer, almost like stars falling slowly but not quite touching the ground. One of the black uniformed men shouted, "Look up." Adam ducked behind a crate, watching from the shadows. The lights formed a shape long, thin, almost like the object described in the old mission file. It moved silently across the sky, too smooth, too controlled to be a plane or drone. It hovered above the field, its surface glowing softly like warm metal. The men on the ground aimed weapons at it. Adam's heart dropped. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't attacking. It wasn't doing anything threatening. But the men, protected by orders and fear, were ready to shoot. Adam knew he couldn't stop them, but he also knew something. This object, this pattern, this arrival, it was connected to the signal, connected to Project Silent Echo, connected to the truth hidden for decades. He needed evidence. Now he pulled out his camera and zoomed in, snapping as many pictures as he could. The object pulsed, the light growing stronger. It seemed to be scanning the area, searching for something or someone. Then, suddenly, it stopped. The lights blinked faster, faster, faster. Adam recognized it instantly. It was the same rhythm Mia played earlier, the same 11-hour cycle, the same language like pulse. The object was communicating, but with who? A moment later, all the lights dimmed. For a second, the whole world went quiet, as if holding its breath. Then boom, a shockwave shot across the field. Not an explosion, more like a wave of air, strong but not deadly. It knocked down two of the black uniformed men. Adam fell to his knees. His ears rang. His vision blurred. When he looked up, the object was gone. Completely gone. The air was still. The lights were gone. The sky was empty. One of the men shouted, "Find him. He was here." Adam realized they weren't talking about the object. They were talking about him. He grabbed the backpack and ran. Out the back of the factory, the shockwave had opened a loose panel in the fence. He pushed through it and sprinted into the fields. The night wind whipped against his face, but he didn't stop. The men shouted in the distance, but he didn't look back. He finally reached a lonely road leading out of town. No cars, no signs of anyone, just darkness and silence. Adam stopped, gasping for breath. He looked down at the files inside his backpack. The truth was no longer just printed on paper. It had just passed over his head. The signal wasn't just a message. It was a warning, or a search, or a call to someone. Silent Echo wasn't just a secret. It was a beginning. Adam stared down the empty road, clutching the files tightly. He couldn't go home. He couldn't go back. But he knew what he had to do. He had to disappear, before the truth disappeared with him. And somewhere above him, in the silent sky, something was returning. Adam Carter found the files NASA hid for many years. Signals, unknown objects, and the origin of it all. Project Silent Echo were now in his hands. But understanding the truth was not easy. When Adam saw the lights in the sky, flashing in the same pattern as the signal, he knew this was not just about files. Something was coming back. Something that started long ago. Adam escaped the town, but he now carried proof and the truth. The question is, will he share this truth with the world, or will the people who want the secret hidden silence him forever? This is not just a story. This is a warning, because some echoes never stay silent.